We are in the F1 summer break, and I'm making some more out there silly season predictions, plus checking out how absolutely wrong I was at the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm Blind Bryce Castillo, and this is Blind Corners.
OMW.
So how were these Hungary predictions? I said I would be wrong. Here are all of the ways that I was wrong. Number 1, Aston Martin will score points. Aston Martin did manage a P14 for Alonso, punching above the Haas, the Williams, as well as Colapinto's Alpine drive. They found improvements with that major upgrade, but there's still a long way to go, because they did end up being the back of the midfield instead of the entire back of the pack. And Honda says that they will actually be testing a new upgraded engine next week at a filming day for Aston Martin. Number 2, tarmac leading to an incident. We didn't see any incidents due to that tarmac degradation, which is very good. It wouldn't have been very good for that to happen. There was a lot of tire wear. It was tough for me to kind of keep up with all the pit stops with how high the degradation was. Number 3, no Mercedes on the podium. Antonelli finished at P3, about 5 seconds ahead of P4, so that was wrong. But it looked like it was possible. It was a tough day for the Mercedes, with Russell dropping all the way to the bottom with the anti-stall at the start of the race. Skipping to number 5, George Lucas being on the broadcast twice. No George Lucas on the broadcast. I missed the trophy celebration. I was here working a little bit, but no George Lucas on the broadcast today. I didn't see any VIPs or WAGs or anything on the global feed. I think that F1 media have really taken fan feedback about the start of this season / last season, where there was just a lot of focus being put on guests in the garage. And number 6, there will be a drone incident. No. Not only were there no drone incidents, I thought that the drone shots were really good. I thought there was a lot of variety. That 6, 7, 8, 9 drone that I kind of thought would maybe run into an advertising board or something had no incidents. It was a great run. They were doing above and below the there were a few points where I thought it would run into it, but they managed to keep it safe. But that turn 14 drone was really great. There was great overhead shots of the turn 14 hairpin. I think it went into the pits to cover some of the pit stops. It had a great sweeping motion in that last turn into the start-finish straight. I thought that was a lot of variety, and a lot of the drones flying over not just grass, but even some of the tarmac. I think it's good. The drones seem like they're working. But I basically did get one of them right. Number 4, there will be at least 3 5-second penalties in the race. Carlos Sainz got 5 seconds for that very dumb tangle that he had with Oscar Piastri. Plus, there were 2 penalties given out after the checkered flag. Hamilton got 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, and Behrman got 5 seconds for ignoring blue flags. The blue flags and the GPS system were all way out of whack this week. I guess they didn't happen during the race, but they happened because of stuff that happened in the race, which I think is close. I'm taking it. We are at the start of a month-long break where the entire sport from the track to the factory is going to shut down. That leaves a lot of empty news cycles for crazy announcements and decisions. Here are some of my predictions for stuff that almost certainly will not happen this summer. Number 1, the biggest question this season has been, will Max Verstappen stay at Red Bull? Will he use his option to get out of his Red Bull contract now that he's not P2 in the championship? I mean, he wasn't P2 was he P2 in the championship? He hasn't been in P2 for a while, but it's been year after year of, okay, well, when is Max going to say enough is enough? Right now, he's P6 in the standings. He just got P2 in Hungary, which was a good drive for a car that he almost immediately declared was shit. And I think that the narrative has been leaning towards Max trying to leave before that Red Bull Racing contract runs out. But I still think that there's not a good place for him on any of the other teams. I think it would be really left field for a team to try to make and get Max at this point, which leads to my crazy prediction that Max will announce a re-signing of his Red Bull contract, or that he'll confirm he's going to see out the end of his contract. He has a lot of leverage with Red Bull. He still has a lot of influence in the sport, and I think if he is in Red Bull, then that is like the best home of operations for him to continue to make the most of his exposure, the most of his performance, the most of his position in a team. And Max is like a young guy. Like, I think he still knows that he's got time to spend on other series if he likes, if he wants to go to WEC, if he wants to keep doing the Nürburgring. He's also like scouting and managing young drivers for the Verstappen team. So I think that there's still a little bit of time to do F1 here for Max, because I think when he gets out, he probably won't want to come back. Well, that's just a gut feeling. Number 2, staying on race seats, I think we're going to see Ocon get given the door at Haas by the end of the season. It's been a tough season for him. He's only got 3 points compared to teammate Behrman's 18. Maybe this doesn't feel super unlikely. It's been another question of like, what's Ocon doing with that seat? I think up and down the grid, there are lots of reasons why any one driver may not be doing very well. The teams are having trouble figuring out these cars, but it has not been a good run of seasons for Ocon. Number 3, I haven't ended up following the F2 season as much as I thought I would, so this is a really blind prediction, but I think Colton Herta will announce him going back to IndyCar. They've been planning this path for Herta for a while, the idea of going to F2, get all the super license points that he needs to get into F1, and then probably take one of the Cadillac seats. But I thought the math was out that it's going to be tough or impossible for Colton to get all the super license points he needs by the end of the season. And I guess he could spend another year in F2, but again, he's like a young kid. He's good in IndyCar. I feel like it would be putting good money after bad to keep doing this F2 experiment. And I like Colton. I want to see the hooligan in F1, but, it's a lot of money to do an F2 seat, even if you've got the backing of Andretti or Cadillac. Number 4, another kind of long shot here. We've seen rumors of a potential new team or a new title sponsor for a team, possibly BYD. We've also heard of talks about Christian Horner potentially going to this BYD project, trying to get an Alpine. But I think we might see an announcement from a company that they're going to try to become a 12th team in F1 within the next 5 years. I'm really hedging my bets. I think it would be easy to just say like BYD or Xiaomi go in and become a title sponsor for a team. But in the fight for the Cadillac team, there was a lot of money being put in to try to get into Formula One. And it seems like the idea of like buying one of the existing teams has now been priced out of validity. And finally, number 5, I think we will see the confirmation of a replacement for either the Qatar or Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with a race in Portugal, in Portimao this year, using the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix title. They just announced that Malaysia will be doing this for Bahrain. So this year, the Bahrain Grand Prix will be held at Sepang in Malaysia. Okay. F1 has minimums in their contracts on how many races that they need to hold in the current year before they have to prorate or give people money back on these contracts. Broadcasters, sponsors, teams. The team payouts are based on how many GPs get run in a year. We don't know the exact number of the minimums, but it does seem like it's 22. We've already had the replacement for Bahrain, and we need another replacement if we get rid of Qatar and Abu Dhabi. And I'm putting this in like crazy predictions because I saw somewhere that there is a concern, because so much of F1 is based out of the United Kingdom, that if there is another European race, that it might mess with the UK crew members and their Schengen time, the amount of time they're allowed to spend in the EU Schengen zone, but they're from the United Kingdom outside of the EU before, I don't know, their visa gets messed up or something. As for using the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix name, I think also that F1 has a contractual obligation to end the season in Abu Dhabi or at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's one of it has to be Abu Dhabi normally to be the final this season. It sounds like Bahrain still wants to like pay the money and still get the recognition, which is why it's the Bahrain Grand Prix in Malaysia. And I bet we probably see something like that too. I think a lot of these Middle Eastern races are very interested in the exposure, in the marketing, in the sports washing, and all of the other ancillary things that go with being either the first or the last race of the season. And so I'm almost certain we will get another replacement race. We're just not sure which. And I don't know what it would be if it wasn't in a European race. There was talk about going to Imola as well, but it sounds like that's also kind of a tough sell. And they're running out of time. They need to announce whatever the replacement is going to be soon because they want to sell hundreds of thousands of tickets. That'll do it for your summer break predictions. Let me know your crazy ideas down in the comments or join the Discord. Got a link in the description there. The next Grand Prix is the Dutch GP at Zandvoort. That's August 21st through 23rd. We should be back a little bit before then. Keep an eye out here for updates. Throw us a tip over on Patreon if you're liking this. Patreon.com/LFGX. 4 little letters. Lots of great stuff. We're doing Marbles Summer 26 right now on Thursday evenings, and we're cooking up a new season of the Two Tusks Music Podcast with yours truly and Jeff from Rage Select. We just did 2 seasons on Fleetwood Mac, on Tusk and Rumors, and we've got a new idea for a new music act to follow for season 3. So keep an eye out on that, the Two Tusks Music Podcast. That's going to do it for me. I'm Blind Bryce Castillo, and this has been Blind Corners. Meow!